Greg Abbott was Attorney General of Texas. He was the one who filed the suit on behalf of 26 states. He's now the governor of Texas. We welcome him to the broadcast. Governor, let me just ask you, the appeals court has agreed. They put a hold on this. Do you think in light of that, Republicans in Congress ought to kind of clear the decks and then go ahead and fully fund the Department of Homeland Security now that you have won your point?
Well, the point that we're fighting on is something that will continue through the court process all the way to the Supreme Court. First and foremost, it is essential that we continue to win that point because what we have here is a situation where the president has violated the rule of law and really contradicted the Constitution by actually making up the law and imposing his own standards on the immigration system. And so what Congress must do is to continue to ensure that the rule of law and the United States Constitution as constructed are fulfilled. And that means it's the Congress, not the president, that establishes what our immigration laws are.
Do you think this will go to the Supreme Court eventually?
No doubt about it. This is going to the Supreme Court for a couple of reasons. One, because this immigration issue is such a powerful issue in the country right now. But second, remember this. The lawsuit that I filed against the president actually doesn't deal with the immigration issue. What it deals with is an overreach by the president who is refusing to follow and abide by the United States Constitution, and instead of allowing Congress to establish immigration laws as is required by the Constitution, instead the president himself is making up new immigration laws.
Well, let me just ask you this, and getting back to the first question I asked you. The Congress, the Senate, has put together a bill to cut off funding to the Department of Homeland Security to do just what your lawsuit was designed to do, to stop the president from doing that. Now that this is in the court system and all that, do you think it would be best for the Congress to go ahead and give them a clean bill and fund the Department of Homeland Security so the Secretary can get back to doing what he ought to be doing?
Well, two things. One is the first thing that we want to get out of Washington, D.C. is full funding to secure the border. The reason why we're in this problem to begin with is because the federal government has not stepped up to fulfill its duty to secure the border. We all saw what happened on the Texas border last summer, but we need to understand that problem is not going away. Already this calendar year, since January 1, we've had more than 20,000 people come across the border, apprehended, unauthorized. And so we have an ongoing problem on the border that Congress must step up and solve. However, the issue against the president, again, is something different altogether.
Let me ask you this, and I'm well aware of what you're talking about at the border, but you've got, what, 800,000 of these people that are in the state right now? What are you going to do with them?
Well,
I mean, you don't have enough buses to send them back to Mexico, and I don't expect you could put all of them in jail. What are you going to do with them?
Well, two things. One is the president himself said as these people were coming across the border that he would repatriate them as soon as possible. So we need to see whether or not the president himself is going to live up to the commitment that he made. The second thing is what to do with those who are here by the Constitution itself is dedicated to the United States Congress, not the president, to decide how to deal with it. And so we need Congress to have the latitude to fulfill its responsibility to solve the problem.
Well, Congress can't seem to get together and decide what to do. They just remain at loggerheads. In the meantime, you in Texas, you've got 800,000 people there. What are you doing now?
What I am doing now as governor for the state of Texas, I have outlined a plan that does what Americans really want to have achieved. And that is, I have a plan that will secure the border. I'm going to add more than 500 more Department of Public Safety officers, more Texas Rangers, more technology. We are coming out of our own pocket, Texas taxpayers' pockets, to secure the border, doing the job that the federal government must do. The first step that has to be taken in this whole process is to secure the border.
Let me before I let you go, just talk a little bit about national politics. Texas is going to be a key state, obviously. Again, you've got, what, Jeb Bush, who has Texas connections, obviously, probably Ted Cruz. He's doing everything he can to run for president. Rick Perry. You think all three of them are going to run?
I would not be surprised if they all run. If I could expand on that, the Texas connection, Carly Fiorina was born in Austin, Texas, like you were.
Well, that's true.
We also have Rand Paul, who is a Texas native. So look, the odds favor that the next president, at least the Republican nominee, is going to have a Texas connection.
If all of those people wound up running, what's that, 5 of them?
Yes.
Who finishes 5th?
Finishes 5th?
Who finishes 3rd?
That's beyond my predictable skills.
Have you picked out, do you have a horse yet?
Well, what I'm looking for is to ensure, for one, that we have a nominee that is committed to what I'm most committed to, and that is someone who is going to follow the Constitution and apply the Constitution. Second, someone who is going to step up and do what the American people are demanding, and that is to secure our border.
I interpret that to mean you are not ready to announce who you're supporting.
I am looking for the best candidate who can ensure a conservative agenda is going to be achieved for America.
All right. Thank you very much, Governor. Hope you'll come back to see us.
Thank you.